Game number 2 of our best of 3. We have in the bottom left-hand corner our blue player who took game number 1 with his extraordinarily fast, really closely placed buildings to get to that speed camp a little bit faster than his red opponent. AoE number 4 is Swarmhost ZVZ. This player is not decided to produce any kind of production or any buildings as of yet. And of course, we have our conclave about halfway done for RayReign before he begins his. Both players are playing Infernals. Infernals are very, very quick to go after camps because they're able to spawn fiends out of the units that are killed if they use a Gaunt. Gaunts come from the Conclave, if I'm not mistaken. We have a fast expand from AoE. No production of any military units as of yet. And of course, RayReign is already gathering his Ethereum, lots of Luminite, and is getting ready to go grab his camps, get a bunch of imps, do his thing that he has been doing. Shoves out a Gaunt as fast as possible, more or less. Of course, not the fastest ever, but definitely very quickly. Gaunt is headed over to the speed camp, as I had suggested he was going to do, to try and get himself that advantage. He'll probably do some kiting and back and forth play in order to gain control of these wonderful little creatures. But nothing too crazy. He doesn't want to lose it. He doesn't want to take any damage if he can help it. No, has a pretty good idea of what the kiting range is. Has done this multiple times before. You can tell, obviously, by the fact that he only took one singular hit when he did his one slight overstep. Imp should be coming out pretty quickly, and in that same time, the shrine is almost done, as well as a Iron Vault and 2 conclaves from our red player. The first imp out, the second imp out. Or Fiend, I always have them backwards. I always do that. I'm sorry. We're going to grab that speed camp, and I'm seeing a natural expand and, of course, a Shroud Stone right off the hop. And I would imagine that they're going to go grab more camps, probably to the other speed or the Vision Camp. It appears the Vision Camp was the decision that RayReign went with. While his opponent is now just starting to get his Gaunt out. You can see it headed over to that speed camp, just like he had on the other one. There's a couple extra Gaunts that are coming out. He's going to do the exact same tricks that we saw previously. Nothing crazy going on. Just literally the same thing, just a little bit slower. An imp that has, or a fiend that has been sent across. Looks like we're going to go after the health camp, maybe? Yep, that looks like a health camp push. And he's going to lose probably 3 of these fiends for it, maybe just 2. Just 2. Replaces one of them. Does a scout, sees that his opponent has the Shroud Stones out, while his opponent has just finished clearing the speed camp that on his side of the map, similar to what he had done earlier on. Of course, we're going to have the fiends engage, and we're going to do the same thing that we're doing. We're trying to grow that fiend count as much as possible, as well as gain resources and be a threat to the opponent, as well as protect themselves from getting out. Loses a handful of fiends in the process, but that's kind of expected. There's no major problems when that happens. We're going to see this happen on the other side. There's a fiend sprinting across to take a peek at what his opponent can see and where he has expanded, where his defenses are set up, and then he just goes down very quickly. This matchup has a lot going on at all times, so it's very hard to always keep up with everything, so I'm sorry with that. We do have a Vision Camp already for both. Defensive position very strong, has an extra production facility, but it appears that we don't need the brutes by the blue player. Blue player going after the other health camp, grabbing all of the different fiend locations and resources that he can, just simply by going after them, touching what he's able to. Goes after the Vision Camp that his opponent grabbed earlier on, and looks to be engaging a little early, a little out of distance from his the rest of his army. Fiends get pulled back. Both players just kind of testing each other, making sure things are going okay. We have a Fiend that has gotten into the main, seeing everything that's going on. A Doombringer available already for a blue player. And decides to throw down an Iron Vault to follow up. He's grabbing the center of the map, which is a very interesting choice. while his opponent may have some suspicions on what's going on. This Doombringer is headed in to his, the Red's main base, but he's already thrown down a Shroud Stone to protect himself from this drop. Of course, once you get a bunch of units inside of your opponent's main, destroying all of those imps very, very quickly with all the gaunts, becomes very, very clear how it can go snowbally very quickly. RayReign decides to pull out as fast as possible, only grabs a couple of Fellhogs and maybe one imp. I might have missed it. I was kind of paying attention to if that Doom Bringer was going to go down or not. It loses all of its shield and about a third of its health. A little more than a third of its health. And is continuing to build a base in the middle of the map and does not give away when his third time hits because his opponent does not know. And his opponent is just kind of hanging out looking for that third all over the place. Isn't able to do it. Oh, a little bit of action over here. Doombringer does drop off some of the units. It appears that they released some, but wasn't able to really do everything they needed to do. Lots of idle workers because of this wonderful distraction. Shroudstone going down, pulled the army back. This is making Red's life significantly more difficult, but keeping him on his home turf as Blue opens up the middle and is doing a really good job of protecting things, dropping a new farm inside of his fourth location. So basically just securing parts of the map so that he's able to continue on with the future. Imps or fiends running around scouting. You can see them sitting out there all over the place. You can see expansions coming down. You can see the worker count has climbed back up to 10. All of these were idle for so very long. That's going to hurt with the production of anything that requires Ethereum, which is pretty much everything of value at this point in the game. Imps just sort of kind of running into each other, scouting a little bit, seeing what's going on, passing each other, those kind of things. The resource camp, all the camps are starting to come back up. It looks like this Doombringer is going to be here forever. I don't know what that ability was. A recall. Aha, Protoss. Doombringer from our red player headed across, going towards the to RayReign, and looks to be headed towards the main. RayReign already has defensive structures placed, so shouldn't be too much of a struggle when this comes on in. At the same time, Red is clearing his vision camp, and Blue is clearing his vision camp, so we'll see this interaction go kind of interesting really quickly. No damage for quite some time, so imps are now getting taken into account, getting hit. Of course, this is going to be very challenging for our blue player to handle. Doombringer is already pulled up, doesn't have any units in it, has generated a little bit of protection on itself. All of these imps against all these units, that's really rough. This is what RayReign was trying to do when he did his drop. And of course, it's not able to do it in the direction. Only loses a couple of workers, not too bad though. Imps flying around, and of course we have this Doombringer that's chilling out here. Third base is starting to get fully saturated, maybe a little oversaturated. And he takes that oversaturation and sends it over to the thorium right next to it, but has this wonderful base right in the middle that is very thoroughly defended and has quite a few workers on it, which is going to, this counts as 2 bases with the cost of 1. It's a very big boost in the economy for RayReign. You can see him producing out lots and lots of workers really fast here. Our red player is either suspecting that something's going on or is getting ready to make a move, and there it is. You can see it clearing the trees. All of the Shroud Stones just about to pop. They got about 50 health, if that, left to go. So what we're going to see is all these Shroud Stones just start plowing away at the stuff. Doombringer coming in. There's the damage already. Says, oh crap. Pulls back immediately. I believe there's a Doombringer that flew off. I don't know where it went off to. Missed it. Got an expansion or a scouting meat farm over at this location. We have a Shroud Stone, a pair of Shroud Stones going down, getting ready to help defend or attack the center base with another Shroud Stone being placed. Oh, there's the Doombringer. I was like, I thought I saw one. There's the load up. What he's going to probably do is send that over to the main base while he goes ahead and attacks this very heavily fortified third location. Has lots of shrouds that are around. Oh, and RayReign sees the Doombringer, is trying to catch it. I don't think he can. The units are just not in the right position. He needs to pull these over this direction. He's already doing that, but it's a little bit late. Is getting a little bit of pathing troubles. Ooh, got a couple of Shadow Flayers, destroying all of that, but has now moved his army completely out of position to defend this middle base. So we have a huge number of Fellhogs, well, 6 Fellhogs, which will very quickly turn into not many, and a Magmadon, as well as 4 Shroud Stones, and a handful of other items that are available. Not many, but it's still there. Doing lots of damage to all this stuff. We're seeing the fight go down with everything going on. I can't zoom out any further. I would, I know. But there's no air for our red player at this point. There's a couple of them. And it appears that red has tapped out due to the very strong defensive structure in the middle